Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm Matt,
and today we're reviewing
the Defenders.
episode 2. So big unknown earthquakes going on, and that is enough to spur Matt, not this one, Matt Murdock,
No,
but
the one.
into action. So you got him kind of, he's hearing flashes of people looting. I mean, there's a slight bit of an earthquake, so instantly people think I'm going to start jacking stuff. I mean, they were quick off the mark. I mean, within seconds of it going off, they were straight.
They were very quick. I suppose you could argue that with there being a history of crap going down in New York in the MCU, maybe they just think the world's ending. The aliens are back.
Yeah, so, yeah, you've got a couple people robbing a pawn shop, and the guy comes out with a shotty. I think that's what they call it on the street. So he's letting off hot licks, and it's like Daredevil's nearly shot. I mean, so yeah, so he kind of gets back to the apartment and is gonna treat his knuckles because he slapped a couple people up, and then he's like, "Now forget about it," and slaps a med kit off the table. So obviously, there's a lot of rage in there, I feel.
Angry dude.
Yeah. I guess so. I guess he's coming from a place where he's kind of like super kind of agitated in terms of, I guess he does want to be Daredevil, but I get, because a little later on he like opens up his little trunk and then he's got his outfit and stuff in there, and it's like he's debating it, and then he gets a call by Foggy, and then they kind of meet up, and it's like he notices his knuckles and is like, "Yo, have you been doing your thing or whatever?" But still, it's not the kind of like, "Yeah, just go do it," you know what I mean? It's kind of not that. I mean, Foggy.
Yeah, Foggy in the moment was less his friend and more like his sponsor. Like some bloke who don't really want to do this, even though he does, and throws him some like pro bono work from his company, which I think includes Jessica Jones, right? That's how he's going to end up there eventually.
Foggy's kind of put on the detail by Hogarth, because I mean, she obviously with the whole earthquake, she's like at the apartment and she kind of rings it in, and then she has a thing with Misty Knight. She jacks the evidence and get away. So I guess Hogarth heard about it and thought, right, she's in deep with something here. It's FBI, Homeland Security. So obviously, that being said, like this could be something that tips her off the edge, because she's not kind of in a good place at the moment in terms of, I guess she's kind of isolated herself.
It's interesting. I know Foggy has faith in that as the lawyer, but it's interesting that he hands him a case that Foggy was specifically himself put on.
Maybe it's one of them things. Maybe it was just like accidental, or maybe it was one of them things where it's kind of, this is going to lead into something. Like if anyone can help her what she's kind of in due to kind of the stuff that she does, then I guess he's probably the best person to help her. So maybe in his own way it was a push in the right direction. You've got Trish. I know I remember her name from Trish Talks. She's kind of going through the calls, and it's kind of interesting. She gets a call and it's like, "Oh yeah, some meteorologist or geologist," and she's like, "Yeah, normally like an earthquake's like 500 miles, but this one only seemed like to be like 300 foot." So it's like, oh, and then she gets cut off, and then it seems like the higher ups at wherever Trish works at Trish Talks, that they're kind of trying to shove it under the thing. So whether that's like because they bring up the whole public panic, whether it is that, or maybe they're somehow kind of got into this major conspiracy.
Maybe. I mean, it's all theories, but we know, I think it's pretty obvious that the Hand are some sort of conglomerate, or at least act to be. So maybe the Hand own the station or control the media or some crap like that. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, going with the Hand, obviously you've got Alexandria. She's like at the orchestra place, and then there's like a discussion between her and the woman. They're talking about Brahms and Beethoven. It's like interesting you pick that piece. Really, it's kind of like they're nudging in the back that this woman is older than she seems, and stuff like
Madame Gao as well, right?
Yeah, so you know what I mean, which is interesting that this woman's like lived for hundreds of years, but like now she's kind of super on her deathbed, so maybe like longevity or whatever, or bringing people back, maybe that only works to a certain point.
Yeah, and I wonder if the Beethoven and all that crap, I wonder if she's into it, or she loves it, or is it nostalgia because she's dying?
Yeah, because high society types kind of get into that because it makes them look better and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know, but they kind of talk about a wall. So whether the earthquake was triggered as a result of them trying to blow it up or whatever, but there's a wall, and then they're kind of like, maybe it's not a wall, it's a door. So they kind of indicate on the down low that maybe, as it being linked to Kunlun, maybe they need Iron Fist to open it. So it kind of clears up the whole why the C4's all in the apartment. I guess they're getting them to move C4 so they can kind of blow this thing up, but it's not working so far, and that triggered the earthquake.
Yeah, and I'm glad there's like a wider plot of something they're trying to attain, because, to be honest, when I first saw the earthquake thing, my immediate thought was, oh, is this another like Ra's al Ghul thing? Is it going to be exactly the same, where the Hand are basically the League and they're all doing the same plan? But seemingly not. Clearly she's after some sort of greater thing, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is yet, but at least there's something.
Yeah. In terms of Defenders, we get our first kind of meet up, as it were. I mean, Luke Cage is kind of, working the streets. He goes to like bars and stuff like that, and he gets his lead on
the guy in the white suit.
Yeah, who's kind of, I guess, is like a kind of like a pimp, I guess, in a kind of sense that he's got all these people, like he's working for the Hand, I guess, but he's like a street level guy, if you know what I mean. Like he's big pimping for the street, so we can get all these hood rats to kind of, no questions asked, fat cash, fresh trainers, and kind of get whatever done, and that kind of leads him to like a warehouse. Also, Colleen and Danny end up going there, and they're kind of on the inside, and they see like the people, like these people who have no problem with like disposing of bodies, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so was it acid or something?
I guess so, yeah. So it's interesting that these guys, it's like, oh yeah, come work for us. And it's like, oh okay then, oh by the way, you're going to be disposing of bodies. Oh, no problem. Okay. So yeah, times must be hard. So yeah, and that kind of leads Danny to start slapping him up to try and get information that leads him outside, and obviously cross paths with Luke Cage, where we get our little fight. Danny's pulling off some fresh tricks and it's not getting him anywhere, and then he powers up and gives him what can only be described as a mean right hook, and it shakes his jaw, switches a bomb to his jaw, and he drops like a sack of potatoes. What did you think?
I thought it was okay. I mean, at least look, he finally hit someone. I'm not going to complain. But that entire goddamn show, I was losing the will to live. So we finally see him punch someone. He happens to be Luke Cage. But it was a cool fight. It sets up their differences, and also, while Danny Rand got his ass kicked, he didn't look too bad. So
#heroes for hire.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I mean, Jessica Jones kind of finishes up her business, goes back to the apartment, and there's the guy who's like apartment she was at with the bombs, and is like pranging it. He's got a gun too, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, so kind of, basically. So he's kind of alluding to whoever they sent you, and Jessica don't know nothing, and it's like she ain't getting much out of him. And then in comes Elektra. I like the whole cool thing with the sword in the door and kind of slit it down, comes in. Her coat looks sick. I liked her coat. So yeah. And then is like you won't be able to get what's in here. So it's interesting that like if she was going to kill him, she'd just dash a sword straight at him. But it looked as though I don't kind of the way it was implied that he knew something that they wanted to get hold of, but he popped himself before they could drop it. So that's kind of interesting, that if he was working for the Hand, but maybe there's something else going on as well. Because I really think she would have just stabbed him. She wouldn't have messed about, and he wouldn't have said that. So I think, maybe there was a bit of double cross going on there.
Possibly.
And that kind of, she goes after her, and then it kind of leads to her getting arrested. And who's a quote unquote public defender?
Mr. Matthew Murdoch.
Yeah, aka Daredevil, for those who didn't know. So yeah, this episode was a big kind of ramp up, in the sense that we're still slow burning the story. We're getting tidbits about this Alexandria chick.
We're getting close now, though. We've had two meetups. Iron Fist has met Luke Cage, Trial Man, whatever you want to call him, and now Daredevil has met Jessica Jones. I'm pretty sure, don't Luke Cage and Jessica Jones already know each other?
Yeah. They hung around a lot in her season. And he kind of, I guess he went off on a different path in his season, kind of went after Claire Temple. Let's talk numbers.
I think it's probably on the par of the first one. I'll go now 7.5. I think this is it now, though. I think now pretty much we can see the plot threads of where we're going to go. Clearly it has something to do with Elektra and her coming back to life, and this whole plan to deal with Iron Fist. Now we know how everyone's going to interact. So I hope full steam ahead from this point.
Obviously you had Stick as a prisoner as well. He's kind of captured by her. It looks like they, Alexandria, so they know each other as well. So yeah, they kind of pulled all the threads together and kind of pushed them in the right direction without sacrificing any of the story, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. I'll give it an 8.5. I'll give it a little notch up because of the action sequences from last episode, and that's my opinion.
Cool.
I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
And we'll see you for the next one.